Hey guys, my name is Neil. I wanted to start this YouTube channel for people who are in recovery and families for people who are in recovery. I myself am a recovering addict. I just hit my 1 year, so I got my 1 year chip, which I'm very proud of. But people, one thing when I was an addict and I didn't think I was because I wasn't using all the time, but I started using because my mom was sick and I just gave everything up. Eventually, as I was using the drug more and more, it didn't become about my mom, it became about the drug. And people don't realize, they think that the drug is the answer, but it's not the answer. It actually makes things worse. Because then the next day you're tired, you're calling out of work, you're canceling appointments on friends, you don't feel like doing anything but sleeping the whole day. And and I began to realize that, but it came to the point to where I had burned every freaking bridge that I could have. I lost my best friend of 20 years, and I used it in this house. I got charged with a possession of meth charge. It was a misdemeanor, thank God, by the grace of God, that I didn't get put in jail. But he could have lost his teacher's license. And I was using when I was in my parents' house. I almost pulled my mom down the stairs when I was high as a kite. But, I chose to be high. Um, you know, when I finally decided, enough was enough, I went to my work one day and I told my boss, I said, I am an addict. I need help. I need to be in recovery. Um, but when I walked out the day, it was pouring down raining and I was highly suicidal. I wasn't thinking clearly. And I wanted to just end it. I was like, what is recovery going to do for me? I've already lost everything. I've hit rock bottom, and my parents have showed me tough love by kicking me out of the house. So I had nothing. I really thought I had nothing. I was ready, just about ready to step foot in oncoming traffic and just hopefully that it was going to end all the misery, the pain, and suffering that I was in. But by my higher power, something held me back, and I thought maybe it was my grandparents who had passed away, my godmother who all were pulling me back. But I felt like something was pulling me back. Something didn't want me to do that. So I walked into a Safeway and I walked around. I was in misery. I didn't know what to do because by the end of the day I was going to be homeless. I luckily I had enough money. I got into an Uber. I went into the hospital. I was highly suicidal, didn't know what to do. I found out I was diagnosed with HIV. But the thing was that really didn't bother me. It really didn't get me like if I would have found out in the '80s if I was diagnosed with HIV. I just know that that could be treated. But what could be done about my drug use? What could be done about my addiction? I went into a psych ward for a couple of days to get myself together. They were deciding what recovery place to put me at. So I went to Virginia Hospital Center for their 28-day program. But they were only there to help me with my recovery, not finding me a house or some place to live. So I went to the Men's Salvation Army in Virginia, in Alexandria, and it was good. I had a place to live. I had they were getting me help. I worked a job there. I did Zoom meetings, but I still wasn't able to let go of the past. I was holding on still to all the shame and guilt. And even when we did meetings and people were openly speaking, I found I found my higher power. I turned myself over. I wasn't ready to do that. I was so ashamed. I just sat there and listened to everybody. But then I found a sponsor, and that sponsor told me, Neil, the more and more that you tell your story, not only are you going to help yourself, but you're going to help other people. And I felt, well, like, wow, those are really, really strong words. So I got up one time and I started talking about it. And, funny that day that I felt really good about myself. I was still struggling, with the pain and the grief I had caused everybody. Um, it was nice that I had gotten this card from my mom and dad and said that they were so proud of me for checking myself in recovery. So that kind of helped me. They were still there to be supportive. So as more and more as months went by, I was speaking in meetings, I was going to Zoom meetings, I was going to outside meetings, and I was listening to people, and I was actually to relate to them. And that's how I found my sponsor. We had almost pretty much the same story, and he really helped me. We began working the 12 steps. Right now I'm at step 4. But, sometimes I feel like, maybe I don't need the steps because, right, I was 11 months clean before, but then I relapsed. And then now today I am 12 months clean. I just hit, as I said, I've hit my 1 year of sobriety. And I got that shit last night. That was the greatest feeling. Now today, where I'm at, I'm attending the Chicago School of Psychology. I'm studying social work and drug counseling. And I'm also volunteering with 2 organizations, Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and an organization called Thread that helps inner city school kids, helping them with their education, making sure that all their needs are being met, and they're able to function on a day-to-day basis. But it makes me feel good, seeing people happy, knowing that I'm continuing to do the right thing and to pay it forward. And I live by that every day. But one thing that my sponsor said to me, he said, say to yourself, what would you do if you use what would you lose? And I thought about that, man. That was some of the most powerful words I ever had, because I already lost everything, but I gained that back. But do I want to lose that again by just smoking that pipe in my mouth or shooting that needle on my arm? Because look what I lost. I almost lost my health. I mean, I this will be with me for the rest of my life. But I wear my HIV as a scarlet letter, not as a burn, like a permanent, branding or something like that, but as a reminder that what what this addiction did to me and what it did to my life. Now today, I mean, I'm more happy. I'm more speaking out in meetings. I'm working my steps. The hardest thing right now is going to be with the 4th step. Bringing back all that fear. But the thing is, though, is that you have to deal with it. You have to get past it. You have to move forward. Forget about the past. Don't focus on the future. Focus on today. Today, I'm clean, and I'm doing that every day of my life, and I want that for other people. And I hope that my story will reach out to other people and say, hey, I can do this too. I just need help. And if you're know of a family member who is in addiction, who needs help, reach out to them before it's too late. I've lost 3 friends this year, but I wasn't going to be one of those statistics. I fight every day, for myself, for other people. I live in a sober house, but I'm happy where I'm at. I don't need all those material things. I don't need all that. I'm doing this for myself, and I'm doing it to leave a legacy that, as an addict, we can be better. We will always be addicts, but if you fight and if you believe in your higher power, turn yourself over, that everything will go well. And you just got to keep fighting. You got to believe in yourself. You got to love yourself, because nobody else is going to love you. You have to love yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to have that self-confidence to say, hey, you know what? Fuck this. I'm giving this shit up. I don't need this because it's caused me nothing but misery, and that's what it did to me. But I hope that you find my story. And I hope that you can find some inner strength in the story. I'm going to keep doing this every day, and just keep believing in the message. The NA and AA will work for you, but you just have to believe. You have to work the steps. You have to believe in your higher power, because words are power. Your mind is power. You just have to believe. But thanks, guys.